Alrighty. So, Star Wars. A name that's kind of lost its aura. Okay, I think we can all admit it. Over the years, Star Wars has been on the down spiral. Now, we've had some good shows, okay? There was Tales of the Underworld. That was pretty good, pretty cinema. Venture stuff, yucky, move it aside. We got Cad Bane in it, at least. We had Andor season 2, that was pretty good. Andor season 1 was pretty good as well. And now, if you don't know, just a little quick history lesson on the Barry Ben lore on the channel here. Last year I went ahead and caught up on every single Star Wars show. The only thing I didn't watch was my second time watching Rebels. So technically, like, the last season is like the only thing I really haven't watched, but I've seen a majority of the clips, I guess. I didn't watch like the whole season, but I watched like halfway and I got bored and I just saw the ending, that sort of stuff. And then other than that, throughout 2025, I went ahead and watched all the shows. Most of them were for my first time. Now, Clone Wars was a rewatch, but I went through, Andor for the first time. I went through Bad Batch fully for the first time, stuff like that. Tales of the Underworld, stuff like that. Tales of the Empire. Now, some of the projects I didn't mind. Genuinely, I didn't mind. I thought they were all right. Underworld, I think I still got to do a Star Wars show tier list for the channel, but, Underworld was pretty good. But if you don't know, on the channel, I'm a pretty big Maul guy, okay? Solo, it wasn't that great, but we got Maul as an appearance, so, I gave it a little upper on the scale after I reviewed that show. But we also got some mega stinkers, and this is where it was hard to watch, hard to be a fan, if you will. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show, I watched that for the first time. Acolyte, I mean this genuinely, it was painful to get through those 8 episodes. Was it even 8? Yeah, I think it was 8. I don't even want to remember, man. Ugh. Oh my god, it sends chills down my spine every time. Jesus Christ. Oh, I fucking hated that show. Ugh. Chimera and his fucking... Oh my god, it's getting bicycle. I'm getting PTSD. Anyways, there's been some shitty shows for Star Wars, is what I'm trying to get at. I think we all know that, okay? But this video is dedicated to one show that's coming out in 2026. I think it's been confirmed that it's coming out. It's not like one of those to be determined type of situations. I think it is for sure coming out, and I'm not hopeful for some of the shows in 2026. The Mandalorian movie, I'm not that excited for, but I will be going to it. It'll be the first theater Star Wars film I think I've ever watched. If I do end up going to the theaters, I probably will. And then outside of that, like Ahsoka season 2, but apparently there's a problem with the main actor, and they're getting a new Ahsoka actor, and it's not fully confirmed if that season's coming out, and now we're getting a fucking Starfighter show about fucking some actor, Ryan Gosling or some shit. I don't fucking care about these actors, man. But regardless, the one show I am very excited for, and if you couldn't tell by this red hue, is Maul the Shadow Lord. Now, I'm very excited for this. If you don't know, and maybe you haven't seen any of the Star Wars videos I've done before, I'm really big on Maul. I'm a big Maul guy. Okay, I can't get enough of him. This is my cherry on top, sprinkles on the fucking whipped cream. This is my je ne sais quoi, alright, that I've been waiting for as a Star Wars fan. I loved everything about the Clone Wars for Maul. I loved everything about Phantom Menace with Maul, and I know people are like, but he only had one dialogue. I don't care. He's my homie, okay? He's sick, alright? He's the absolute example of how you make a villain that is imposing while not also having an effect on a story that's already written, okay? That's why I love Maul. He's a great villain. Terrifying as a kid when you watch him just go to a fucking village and burn it down, watching the Clone Wars. Oh, my aura. And in my opinion, I maybe it's a hot take. I really don't like the way they portrayed Maul in Rebels. It's been a minute since I've like watched those seasons of Rebels, but from memory, I don't like his design in Rebels. I think his like smooth horns. Ugh. I think his like hunched over, weak old man looking torso. Ugh. What are we doing, man? And his stars in his eyes instead of them being bloodshot. I, Get it out of my face, okay? We are getting Maul Shadow Lord, and this is, if you don't know, going to be in the Bad Batch style from the look of it. And I know what you're thinking based on that sort of thing. Bad Batch was pretty boring. I don't think you can watch Bad Batch and, like, you know, be clicking your heels and, like, getting excited for it. Bad Batch was fucking boring. But the art style is by far one of the best. Or Tales of the Underworld, I guess, is probably the most updated, because that was 2025, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm very excited. Sam Witwer is also going to be Maul, and if you don't know who that is, he's the GOAT. He's the best at playing Maul's voice. I think it's the Clone Wars Maul. He did Star Killer and a few other... He's done a lot of shit. And with the announcement that Kathleen Kennedy, I believe is her name, the person leading Disney or Star Wars, one of the two, I'm not really that well versed amongst CEOs and all this shit, is stepping down. I think there's a person doing a business side, don't remember his name, and then I think it's Dave Filoni that's moving up. Now, he's done some stinkers with his name on it. I think he was part of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and Acolyte. Don't like that on the resume, but he's also delivered on some good stuff. I think it was part of the Clone Wars. I think he might have done the Ahsoka show, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, Kathleen Kennedy is kind of viewed as like this villain, where she probably infected her little goblin hands into a lot of Star Wars project and made the Force female. You know, she's the originator from that. And while I am a believer of that, I don't think any of this is going to have effect on the Shadow Lord. And what I mean is, like, if Kathleen tainted Shadow Lord, it's going to be tainted. And if Kathleen has not touched it, then nothing bad's going to happen to the Shadow Lord, I think. Whatever it comes out of, like, whatever Maul Shadow Lord comes out as, I don't think it's, like, this whole thing with Kathleen stepping down will affect the show in any way. I'm pretty sure the show's already done filming and everything. And as a Maul guy, I don't own comics. Maybe you can call me a casual, but I have seen a lot of the Maul lore stuff where he like survived his training with Palpatine, how he was Force lightning, then he was tortured by Palpatine with Palpatine's Force lightning so that Palpatine's lightning would be the only one effective against him. He also left Maul on a planet fucking starving for weeks, or maybe it was months, sent assassins after him and all this shit. There's a lot of shit there. Took him at a young age from Mother Talzin. So I know my Maul ball, okay? I know some Maul ball. And I'm excited for the show. This show can be Maul let off his leash. Now, what I will say, my hope and my expectations are two different things. As a Maul guy, I'm excited for the show. I think it'll be the best Star Wars project of 2026. That is my official prediction. However, my expectations and reality are, you know, we're going to keep it grounded. Now, my expectations for the show. Okay, what I want to happen, basically, is we're getting, I believe the Shadow Lord is supposed to be either right after the Clone Wars once he leaves the Venator in Season 7, or it's going to be a little bit after that. I think they did, the rumor I saw a while ago, now this might have already been cleared, was like a year after the Clone Wars, or during the year, or yeah, during the year of the year after the Clone Wars sort of era things. But I don't, it's not going to be long after that Venator scene. I had the Venator in my head for some reason, but I know it's Venator. The Venator, when he leaves and he's aura farming and he's killing those clones without a lightsaber and he's chopping them in half with fucking door frames. We love Maul on the channel, but after that, I think is what we're going to see. I think we're gonna get some skips, like a lot of skips in episode 1. I'm assuming this is gonna be 8 episodes. It could be 12. I'm assuming it's 8. And they're gonna be probably 20-minute episodes. I don't think it's been confirmed. Gonna double check. How many episodes will Maul Shadow Lord be? It is 8 to 10 episodes. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's expecting 3 to 4 seasons. I don't know if AI is on drugs or what that is, but Jesus Christ. Ain't no way it's already confirmed for 3 seasons. God. Hey, just the aura on Maul. We love it. Anyways, yeah, so it's gonna be like 8. Dude, I just know ball, bro. It's gonna be 8 to 10 episodes, probably 8. I'm gonna lean on the 8 side. If it's 8 episodes, I'm gonna assume it's like 20 minutes an episode. We're not gonna get a lot of it, because the problem with the show is that you want to pull in a new audience, but you're probably not doing that with someone already established, already has a beginning and end, as Maul does. We know he dies in Rebels. Spoilers. We know he dies in Rebels to Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then we also know, like, Maul's sort of upbringing and everything through comics and everything else. But this show is maybe a way to just, like, I don't want to say pander, but, like, just, like, feed the Star Wars audience. Like, dude, Star Wars needs a darker tone. I'm so tired of, like, kiddish shit when it comes to Star Wars. Like, Rebuild the Galaxy, I like the show. It was a good show. Dude, we just need, like, real shows, though. We need, like, dude, Andor was so good. Andor is, like, my one-of-one show. If we're including, you know, season 1 and 2 together. That's my, you know, that might beat Clone Wars. Clone Wars, it's up there. I don't know if, I don't know. Right now it's tied, but regardless, we need more real things, like people fucking dying, you know? Characters being killed off, you know? Like, we need that. And this is about Maul. Darth Maul. The guy who exists for revenge and his hatred for Obi-Wan Kenobi and his former Master Sidious keeps him going. And that's the only reason why he keeps going. Okay? Yeah, he's literally got no purpose in life. I hope in this show, these are going to be my hopes, okay? I hope we get a flashback or a episode dedicated to Grievous killing Mother Talzin, because if you don't know, that is, like, I believe canon from comics or whatever, legends, whatever the fuck you want to say. I believe there's a comic where Maul kind of, how do I say it? Sidious uses Maul to get to Talzin and have Grievous kill Mother Talzin. I believe that's, like, how Mother Talzin meets her end. So I hope we get that. I want to see that fight. And if we get, dude, if we get Tales of the Empire Grievous, come on now. Oh my god, I'm getting pumped. But yeah. That's what I hope we get. That's one episode. It's probably not going to be the full episode. It's probably going to be a quick 5-minute segment, flashback, whatever. I want Maul to also do things, man. Kill people. Fuck up bounty hunters. Become a crime lord. You know, there's still the whole Crimson Dawn, I think, is the gang that he leads in Solo. I'm assuming Shadow Lord leads into Crimson Dawn. And that's sort of, I think the ending of Shadow Lord will be him leading Crimson Dawn so they can do a Crimson Dawn show. That's my theory. Or a Crimson Dawn movie, perhaps. That would be like the money I would think. So that's where the writing's leading up, in my opinion. But I'm expecting a Grievous kill episode where we get Grievous killing Mother Talzin. I'm also expecting some backstory on Maul. Maybe his training, maybe young Maul doing some things, you know, getting taken away. Sidious forcing him to train under the Sith assassin ways, stuff like that. Maybe even we get how he survived the duel. Of course, us ball Maul knowers know, but for the average, like, watcher, I think it'd be sick to get it animated too. There was that whole AI thing of showcasing his backstory and how he lived through the tubes and on the trash planet and killed the thing, and you know what I mean. It's also in the comics how he does it, so I think that'd be sick. Those are ways to sort of farm runtime, right? Like that's how you farm the runtime of an 8-episode show where you can't do much. These are my hopes. These are what I am really, really hoping we get, okay? What I genuinely think they're going to do is we're going to have Maul do some things, kill some people. We're not going to see the deaths. They're going to be off-screen deaths. And I think they're going to introduce... I think it was already shown in that trailer. I haven't seen the... whatever trailer it was at, like, whatever Star Wars event. It was something in 2025. I can't remember what it was. But there was, like, images going around, and we saw a red Twi'lek. I want to say the race is called. All right. I'm not too familiar with my Star Wars races, but I think I got that one. And she's supposed to be Darth Talon, I believe, from Legends, which, if you don't know, Talon, the idea for another trilogy in the Skywalker saga was going to be Maul makes his return with a Twi'lek called Darth Talon. Darth Talon's the apprentice of Maul, and they started an uprising against the galaxy through the underworld. That was what was supposed to happen instead of, you know, Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, which I still don't know how people defend those films. If you do, more power to you. You like what you like. They are dog shit. I'm just going to say it. In my opinion. Alright? But, yeah. Dude, sequel enjoyers gotta be... I don't know how you enjoy that shit. 10 years afterwards, it's still ass. And yes, I did watch those 3 films last year as well for my first time. I will never be watching those films again. Holy ass. Anyways, but yeah. I am very excited for Maul Shadowlord as a Maul fan. I hope we get those scenes I talked about. But I do think they're going to be building up this Darth Talon character. Maybe they'll rename her, give her a name, whatever. The Red Twi'lek, I guess I'll call her. The Red Lady. I think she's going to be the main focus. She's going to be the Omega, in my opinion, or Omega, if you will, to the Maul. You know, I really think that's what's going to happen here. I think we're going to get kind of an annoying young character that Maul sort of pushes as an apprentice. But I hope we get a like, maybe leading Maul isn't the right word, but I hope we get like a cool Maul, you know, just a cool savage character who wants to be a crime lord, training someone in the ways that he was taught. I think that's what we want, you know? And I really, really hope that's what they do. But I really do think they're gonna somehow make this young red lady probably annoying, probably not that likable, and I don't think they're gonna do it right. And if you, like, the way I'd explain it is that the way Maul treated Savage as an apprentice, and I know it's like, oh, well, that's his blood brother, and that could be interpreted in different ways. The way he treated Savage was putting Savage in his place whenever he was getting a little like, no, we need to do this now, and being like ooga booga rage brain. He would literally like sit Savage down and be like, no, 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 no. I am the master, you are the apprentice. And that's how like a Sith apprenticeship should work, you know? Like, I've seen a lot more Legends as time goes on, like Plagueis' story and a few other things after watching all the shows. And it's like, dude, the apprentices of Sith Lords should be fighting off the Sith Lord a lot more. You know, they really should be. And we should be seeing that with Maul's apprenticeships. The way he did it with Savage, while it wasn't, like, long, we got a bunch of episodes with Savage and Maul. A whole season pretty much dedicated to him. But with this newer character, I think it's going to be a lot more like the way he handled Ezra, where it's just really weird. You know, I really didn't like the way they handled Maul taking Ezra and his apprentice. Now, Maul had his moments in the Rebel show, but I really don't like how quick he was just on dropping the fact that he was an apprentice. Like, it felt like he instantly switched on Ezra the moment it was advantageous. And I get it, he's Sith Lord, he wanted the artifact, blah, blah, blah. You know, not blood related like the Savage situation. So I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do with this Red Twi'lek person. I imagine the ending is gonna be them splitting, where it's like something that doesn't make sense splits them, and it's Maul just being angry. Because we basically have aura farming, really cool Savage Maul from Clone Wars, and this show is gonna be how we see him survive in the underworld until he basically goes cuckoo for Cocoa Buffs trying to get an artifact, a Sith relic artifact, holocron, whatever you want to call it, to go hunt Obi-Wan Kenobi. Or maybe there's a different reasoning behind that. I don't think it was very clear what that holocron did in Rebels. I think it was just like maybe show your desire or whatever the fuck it was. Maybe it's like a Jack Sparrow compass or something. But that's my theory. But yeah, I really, really hope we just get a Savage Maul and he kills. He just fucking. He does Maul things, man. Go in there. Maybe he's killing fucking stormtroopers. I want to see Maul in an Empiric era where he's just slaughtering Empire motherfuckers. Maybe even like, you know, kill some rebels in the process. And I think we're gonna get a lot of not great cameo characters, I'd say. I would wager we're gonna see Fennec Shand at least once, right? Because because when does Fennec show up? She's in Bad Batch. Dude, they're gonna have Fennec Shand. Oh god, man, we're gonna see Fennec fucking Shand. I'm assuming we're gonna see Fennec Shand one way or another in the show. Maybe we'll get a Cad Bane appearance. I don't think so though. I really want to hope that Maul Shadow Lord focuses on Maul and not like his apprentice and, you know, the side characters, because I feel like Bad Batch, that's kind of where we lost the plot. We just had too many characters that none of them were really different. Like, it was literally 5 clones. Yeah, they were all good at different things, but outside of the same dialogue options they had with characters, there's not really anything else they can really do as far as the plot goes, you know? Outside of the chips malfunctioning for Wrecker, there's really not much else you can do with the rest of them once the chips are removed. They're just regular dudes that all share the same DNA. You know? With Maul, they're probably gonna have some cameo characters. I could see them doing like... I could see an Embo. Or, yeah, I think it's Endo or Embo. I think it's Embo. You know, the dude with the hound, with the bow, with the fancy hat. If you were a kid back in the day, you always wanted the bounty hunter ship to get Embo Lego minifigure. Just saying, a little bit of ball knowledge. If you know, you know. I was fortunate to get that figure, was one of my favorites, and now I only have his hat. Don't know where the rest of them is. But regardless, I think we could get some characters like that, you know? I don't remember how Aura Singh died. I know Aura Singh died. If you don't know who she is, white lady, looks like a skeleton, very tall and lengthy. Fights with Ahsoka a little bit, during assassination attempt on Padme, during the Clone Wars, stuff like that. I think she dies. I don't remember how she dies, but I think she dies like just after the Republic, I want to say. Boba Fett should still be like teenager age, I think, during this time as well. So we'll probably get a Boba Fett appearance. What else is there? Rebels. Who would they have? I don't know, man. Saw Gerrera, maybe? We get a little bit of Saw Gerrera for some reason, just randomly thrown in there. I could see it. There's a lot of like potential for cameo characters, because this is going to be him going in the underworld, and we're going to see like Hutts, we're going to see probably more Pikes, we're probably going to see like actual named Pikes that like we can, you know, not attach to, but at least like, oh, okay, this is a character in the world now. You know, rather than just nameless Pike 2 that gets assassinated by fucking Dooku and Obi-Wan and Anakin, you know, stuff like that. More, maybe Hondo. Hopefully he's not a fat fuck like he is in Rebels. Holy shit, they did my boy dirty in Rebels. That's another reason why I just didn't like Rebels. Dude, the character designs in Rebels, they're a mystery. Other than Thrawn, I really can't think of any good Rebel design characters. Just saying. Anyways, a little bit of shade. But yeah, I'm excited for Maul Shadow Lord as a Star Wars fan. I will probably be doing a review for the show whenever it drops. I don't think it has an official release date. I have some high hopes, high expectations. I do still think it'll be show of the year. I do think they're gonna let me down in some areas. You know, I think some of the dialogue's not gonna be that great. I think we're gonna Sam Witwer, I know, has gone out and said, oh, they can really let the dog off his leash for this one, and you know they really get to play around with Maul. I don't know if that's like someone higher up in Disney was like, hey Sam, say these good things about the Maul show, or if that was like Sam being like, dude, it's gonna be fucking sick. I know the lines, I know everything that happens. It's fucking sick. You know, Sam's got a lot of passion. I respect it, but he's also said some, you know, interesting things about some sequel stuff. So, you know, might be a sequel defender. Okay, but I get it. It's a rough, rocky road you got to be a Star Wars fan in big 2026 now that we're in. But yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts and opinions out there as a big Maul guy. I will be doing other stuff. I'm going to be doing a variety of content throughout the year. I'm going to be doing my show tier list. I'll probably do it maybe after the Mandalorian movie, just to really round it out. Maybe I'll do it beforehand, maybe just before the Mando movie. I upload 2 videos a week. That is the plan. And if you feel like sticking around, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. But with all that being said, if you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good day.